Hi, everybody. All right, so I wanted to take a moment to answer a question in a video format. So first and foremost, I want to say one thing. Everyone understands everyone is you pushed out. Everyone understands the concept. And if you've reached this point in your awareness, what has occurred is you've discovered that your person, whoever your person may be, is appearing fragmented in every single body that you know. Okay? So you will recognize this person disguised as, I'm helping you solve the puzzle, your kids, your grandkids, your college roommates. If you look back at your memories, you will see that you've never been apart, you've always been one, and that person is everywhere. When you suddenly recognize that that person has become the constant of your reality, no matter what, everywhere, 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 your job is then to recognize how this is you. Now, this will appear difficult because although these are your memories, they are your memories appearing to you in a different order. So this is why this body will appear different. It'll appear like your counterpart energy. The equivalent behind the veil would be I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and this person is serving as my mirror so that I can see my story. So I have this vessel that's a projector that allows me to voice whatever it is that I think I'm seeing, and whatever it is that I think I'm seeing, my job is to know that everything is me. Okay, so if you have reached this level and you're asking yourself, what do I do with this now? How can I change? What can I do? Okay, so the next step is the most logical of all steps. Get busy working on yourself. Thank and appreciate everything that you are shown. If you need to, make a list of everything you wish to change. Know that this is you, that these are your wounds, that these are the things that you need to accept, that you need to love about yourself. These are your experiences. Whatever it is that they're showing you, and this list may be long. Okay? For example, if they show you a possible potential for a tumultuous marriage, because you guys have a tumultuous argument every once in a while that makes you question whether or not you guys even belong together. All right? That could be the fact that you were the product of divorce, or that this is the idea that happened in your life. You saw your parents' relationship that wasn't so good. Okay? So then what your ego is doing is trying to protect you by causing this chaos so that you'll be safe from this experience. So if you understand the design, this person has to show up as your chaos so you can understand what the hell you're projecting. All right? Super, super important, because this is true in one relationship and this is true of all relationships. But when you can bridge the gap with your counterpart energy and you can recognize this fragmented piece of yourself in every other human being, you have bridged the divide. You have literally closed what used to be separation. What you do with this is this becomes a force like no other, that draws you in like a river that's overflowing. You cannot help it. You can't control it. You want to, but you can't. You know what I'm talking about. You felt this, or you wouldn't be here asking about an SP. Okay? So that force that you initially felt towards that person, you have now flipped the script, turned it on, and flipped it back towards you, so that that person must by law come to you. So the answer to what do I do now that I know everything is me is you get to busy to freaking love in yourself. You get busy seeing what you need to correct in yourself, because everything that you need to fix in yourself that this other human being has done you the extreme favor of showing you is now your responsibility. Heal yourself. The extreme opposite of what you've been shown, if you don't like it, is also true. This is why you are presented with the opportunity for your wound to be on display, for all of these things that are happening in your life to be on display. So what you'll notice is this person that you have decided is your constant represents two potentials, extreme potentials, right? Represents all potentials, but two extreme potentials. One is they have the potential to be the greatest love of your life, and they also have the potential to be the greatest pain in your life. Your job is to master the two and not experience pain, because your job is to heal yourself, allowing the other person to show you inside yourself. And once you successfully do this with one human being, you can do this with all. When you are undivided, you will find the kingdom of heaven. And this is important because you want to remember that you are the light, and as the light, the shadow must come. You will know that if in reality, in life in general, right, when you guys are walking along in the dark and suddenly the light shone on you or whatever, and you see your shadow, you will notice that wherever you go, your shadow must follow. This is true of the material plane, but until you rise in your skull in the awareness where you know everything is you do not get universal dominion. Okay? So, for those of you who have not achieved this level of awareness, I'm giving you a clue. You will notice that your person starts to appear in every human being on earth. You will notice that every little phrase, every little sentence, every little thing, okay? This is your connection to the kingdom. This helps you bridge the divide. This helps you see that you are not separate and that you have never been separate. And this is so key, because if you're wanting an SP, you have to know that you are the divide. So if you start using the 3D to start bridging your own divide, you start walking in your mind, you start solving the mystery of yourself. And in order to experience the type of love that you are seeking, the one that maybe caused you to join this journey in the first place, maybe that wonderful place where you were initially in and you're so desperate to get back to, or you know what I'm talking about, right? That lovey-dovey stage. Okay, that which propelled you to, because even if that's gone right now, it's the good memories that compel you to achieve that state. You have to understand that that person is not separate. So if you are one with God, you are undivided. This curtails all insecurities as well, because, that's the other question that's asked, right? How do you deal with insecurities? How do you not be jealous? How do you become a confident person? You got to know that you're all women. So why would you be insecure or jealous or try to compare yourself when all of them are you? It's your job to know this so that whoever is with you will perceive your value above all others, because you're the one that has to know that. Your image is the one reflected outside. Remember, we are here to solve a puzzle of ourselves with the universe. We're supposed to figure out how the universe is us, and you can do that using another human being to see yourself. So that is the object of the game. When you can do that with one person, you can do that with the entire universe. As I said, I'm undivided. People come to me all the time and they think they're going to ask me something that I haven't heard before. No, they're past life me on display, and they're past life me all the time, even if it's an experience I haven't yet experienced. Because once it's made solid, it already is my past. All right? This that I say mine, okay, that's true of my experience. You guys have the exact same scenario. Okay, the quantum entanglement is explained in the Bible. It is important to understand this because this will solve the puzzle. This gets rid of all animosity. This gets rid of all problems, issues, all fights, all arguments, all divisions, all everything, because it is your job to know you are that person. So this is an opportunity for those of you who have never listened or heard of the Greek myth of Narcissus, the Greek god. I need you to go check that out. This is the god who fell in love with his own reflection. and understand that it is a metaphor for your own self. When we fall in love with another human being and we don't recognize ourselves, that is the metaphor. And so if we're facing outside instead of within, it's in the wrong order of operations. Okay? It's also the same story of the Princess of Kashi, the Vedantic story, the Princess of Kashi. Notice how every culture says the same mother freaking thing. Because it's the truth, it's the constant. Okay? Princess of Kashi story of the young man who, as a child, was dressed up as a young girl, and then, you know, they made a portrait of him, then they put it in storage. He did not see the portrait. When he sees the portrait, he falls in love with his own image, and he's convinced that it's a little girl, and he knows that this little girl is going to be his age because of the date of the portrait. All along, he has just absolutely smitten with this image of himself as a counterpart energy. All along, until one day someone comes along and says, well, hey, that's you as a child. I need you to understand the wisdom of this, okay? Once you got this, then you get to work on loving yourself truly. That's important. That's what you're here to do. You're here to make peace, and you're here to stop judging. You're here to fall in love with yourself and stop finding fault. Instead, use your proper discernment and raise this person to the level of God that you are. You will find that that person has been with you all along. Once you see that, the force that you create will bring this person to you like a vortex. I promise. I promise. I live with this force every day of my life. Everything just falls out of the sky because of it. And I don't want anything, because everything just comes to me. And I live so peacefully because my daily bread has always come without fail. It's like being a newborn infant and trusting the arms that I'm in. So, if you have reached this level of awareness, if you have figured out that your partner is fragmented in every single human being on earth, and you realize that you are not divided, and then you realize it is your own image, the next step is get to work on yourself. I don't care how you do it, if you revise, if you stop judging, if you write it all down, if you burn your old concept, but first make sure you have a new one in place. Whatever you do, I don't care how you do it. If you look for me for guidance, I can give you billions of ideas. They all work. It really doesn't matter what you do, so long as you are focused on not seeing division, on healing yourself, and applying better judgment. The more you do that, you will notice that the entire world changes. And every circumstance changes, and it keeps on getting better and better, and it is happening because of you. And the relationship that you experience is completely harmonious. It's beautiful. It's everything it was supposed to be. Because in that moment, you are no longer divided. And as an undivided soul, that union forged in God cannot know separation. Not even in death. Because even in death, they will just appear in another body. And you can see through it. The way that I do. It's just recycled bodies. It's just your recycled memories. It's always you. Okay? I say this because every day of my life, whether I'm hanging out with you for lunch, whether we're just watching a movie together, if you come to me for advice, if you work with me as a client, if I run into you at the grocery store, if I run into you at the gas station, every second of my existence is a window into myself. And I'm thoroughly amused by every single interaction. Because it's all perfect. It's like, it's beautiful. It's like you see your face in every dimension at once. And your face is everywhere. And your face changes. It becomes every human being you know. And I can't begin to tell you how beautiful that is. And when you have that, you will find the love of your lifetime, because the love of your lifetime will appear and will praise the ground that you walk on, will want to be with you all the time, will call you the universe, will tell you you are everything, will want to marry you. Anything that you've desired, the love of your lifetime, the kind that makes you glow and makes your skin pretty and your eyes shine and twinkle and like people look envious at you because you guys are on a date and everybody's looking at you two, just staring into your eyes all lovey-dovey, and you go to be that person, you must be at peace and in love with yourself and recognize yourself everywhere. You are fragmented everywhere. This is true. This is biblical. I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to be so super esoteric or anything. This is the truth. If you've reached this level of your awareness, this is the time to turn on the power. Full force. Time to love yourself. And stop finding fault. All right, you guys. Love you. Bye.